During my job interview, the HR person mentioned, "We're excited to have someone with your military background." I froze in the conference room chair, my resume still spread across the mahogany table between us. "I'm sorry, what military background?" Rebecca's smile faltered as she flipped through my application packet with increasing urgency. "Your service record, Austin. Afghanistan deployment 2019 to 2022. It's right here on your background check." She turned her laptop screen toward me, showing a detailed military file with my photo, my social security number, and deployment records I'd never seen before. My hands started trembling as I stared at combat photos of someone who looked exactly like me, carrying wounded soldiers through desert terrain. Behind Rebecca, two other HR managers had quietly entered the room and were whispering among themselves while glancing at me with expressions I couldn't read. "There's been a mistake. I was in college from 2019 to 2022, studying mechanical engineering at State University." Rebecca's expression shifted from confusion to something that looked almost like fear as she scrolled through what appeared to be 3 years of active duty documentation. The room temperature seemed to drop as she clicked through page after page of evidence contradicted everything I knew about my own life. The military file contained details that made my stomach churn with their impossible accuracy. Basic training graduation photos from Fort Benning, dated July 2019, showing me in dress uniform receiving awards I'd never earned. Deployment orders to Kandahar province with my signature on documents I'd never signed. Medical records from a traumatic brain injury sustained during a convoy attack in March 2021, complete with x-rays of a skull that supposedly belonged to me but showed fractures I'd never suffered. Rebecca clicked through page after page while the other HR managers moved closer, studying my face like they were trying to solve a puzzle. "Mr. Holloway, these records are verified through multiple Department of Defense databases. There's documentation of your Silver Star recommendation, your medical discharge paperwork, and your veterans disability compensation claims totaling $58,428 annually." She picked up her phone but hesitated before dialing. "I need to ask you something, and please understand this isn't an accusation. Do you have any memory loss? Any head injuries? Any reason you might not remember serving?" Her voice had taken on the careful tone people use when they think someone might be mentally unstable. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands and Googled my own name. The search results that appeared made the room spin around me. News articles about Austin Holloway receiving the Bronze Star for saving 4 Marines during a Taliban ambush. Photos of someone with my exact face accepting medals at ceremonies I'd never attended. Video footage of military interviews where this other Austin Holloway spoke with a slight accent I didn't have, describing combat experiences in vivid detail while standing next to parents I didn't recognize. Rebecca's supervisor, a stern-looking woman named Catherine Walsh, entered the room carrying a thick folder and sat down across from me with the deliberate movements of someone conducting an interrogation. "Mr. Holloway, I've been reviewing your file, and we have some concerns. Your job application states you graduated from State University in 2022 with a degree in mechanical engineering, but according to the Department of Defense, you were medically discharged from the Army in August 2022 due to combat-related injuries." She opened the folder and spread out documents that seemed to multiply before my eyes. College transcripts that showed perfect attendance alongside military hospital records that placed me in Germany receiving treatment for the same dates. Student loan records proving I owed $87,000 for my education next to VA benefit statements showing I'd been collecting disability payments for PTSD. "These timelines are impossible, Mr. Holloway. Either you're lying about your military service or you're lying about your college education, or there's something much more complicated happening here." Catherine's tone suggested she believed the third option was least likely. Rebecca had gone pale and was typing frantically on her computer, probably documenting everything for their legal department. The other HR managers were no longer whispering but watching me with the kind of intense focus usually reserved for dangerous animals. I drove straight home from the interview, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles went white. My apartment felt foreign as I tore through every document I owned like a man possessed by some desperate need to prove my own existence. But what I found made the situation infinitely worse. My college diploma was hanging on the wall where it had always been, but when I pulled it down to examine it closely, something seemed off about the seal. Paper felt different than I remembered. I grabbed my phone and called State University's registrar office, demanding they verify my enrollment immediately. "I'm sorry, Mr. Holloway, but our records show you withdrew in September 2019 due to military deployment. We have documentation of your academic suspension for active duty service." The registrar's voice was matter of fact, as if she was discussing the weather. "That's impossible." Full story on my channel and linked below.